Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mayur, and in this series we will solve SQL 50 questions from LeetCode. And today we are on our 40th question. So let's dive in. So in this question I have one table and in this named customer, and this table I have four columns in it: customer ID, name, visited on, and the amount. And the customer ID and the visited on is the primary key for this table. So this table contains data of customer transactions who has visited the restaurant on that particular date, and the amount is the total amount they have spent on that day. Okay. So the question is, compute the moving average of how many customers paid in 7 days window. That is current plus 6 days before. Average amount should be rounded to 2 decimal places. Okay, and this should be ordered by visited on in ascending order. Okay, let's try to understand this by an example. So here we have the customer table and we have this given data. So what I have to find is I have to find the average of the 7 days window. Okay, so here 7 till here. Okay, this is one window. So from 100 we start and we come till 150. So we start from 100 till 150, and average is pretty simple, divided by number of entities above. Divided by 7, 122.86, we got our average. So now we move to the next record, which is from here we start counting. So from 110 to 80, right? From 110 to 80, we add everything, divided by 7, we get 120. Similarly, we do for the whole data set, and we should maintain a window of 7 days, that is mandatory. So let's start writing the code. But I'll just explain you things like for betterment. We will use the concept of CTE, common table expressions. So in this, I want to make another table. Let's just write first. Select visited on, comma, the sum of amount, and I'll name this as amount only. Okay, from the customer table, and I want to group by the visited on column. So what this will do, I will get the total amount by the visited on column, since I'm grouping it. Let's see the output. Okay, so now what I have is the total amount by date. So you can see for this 10/1 to 2019, I have two records. So the addition is 130 plus 150, 280. What this will do is this will help me calculate the averages better. That's why we are using the CTE. Okay, because we want it by the date. So this will be our CTE, and to write CTE, we will write the following syntax with CTE as, let's open the brackets and close here. I'm giving the name, the table at CTE. We can give anything, but for our understanding, we'll name it as CTE only. Okay. Now let's write our actual query. Okay. Select. First, let's write the from clause. From CTE. Now see, I am not taking or I'm not using the table customer table over here. I'm using the CTE because this will help better. That's why we made CTE. From CTE as C1, we join it CTE as C2 on. Here comes the interesting part of how I'm joining these two tables, which is the same table. So I have two conditions over here. One, that the visited on should be more than the C2 visited on should be more than the C1, and they should follow the 7-day window. To get these two conditions, we'll write C2 dot visited on should be less than c1 dot visited on, and the another condition will be date difference. We'll use the function date difference in this c1 dot visited on comma c2 dot underscore visited on should be less than 7. This condition will allow us to have the 7-day window. Now this is the from clause. Let's write our select here. From this we are selecting c1 dot underscore visited on comma sum of amount as amount only, and here we will calculate the average. We'll use the round function. Round is usually used when we calculate averages. Average of c2 dot amount column, which, and I want it for 2 decimal places, and we'll name this as average amount. Okay, average amount. Now we have written our this. Let's now group it. Group by, we will use c1 dot visited on, and we have one condition having count should be 7. When the count is 7, we'll consider it as one record and we'll calculate the average for that. Okay, and we'll again group it, group by visited on in the ascending order given in the question. I know it's a bit too much to grasp in the moment, but let's check whether our query is running or not. I'll explain it again. We have an error. Okay, what did the error visited on? Okay. Oh shit. Visited on AC. One second. Oh, sorry. Yeah, we have to do order by. Here we have given order, not group. I forgot. Sorry for that. Let's try to run it again. Another error. I want this from the C2 table. Let's run it again. And it's accepted. Okay, let's try to submit our query. Let's see if it is working. Yes, it is working. Okay, let's go through this question once again. So in this question we had to find the moving average for the particular week for a 7-day window. Okay, and doing it here was tough. Like I would have had to add first for each day, then put it into the average function. That would have created a lot of mess. So what I did to avoid that, we created a common table expression, just nothing but a temporary table where I'm adding or summing the amount table by the date. Okay, now here it will be easy for us to calculate the average. Now from using this table, I'm selecting the visited on column, which is this one, the amount, which is this one, which is nothing but the average, sum, and the third is the average column. And how I'm calculating the average? I'm using the round function average, the C2 amount, which is nothing but this column, and I'm using 2 decimal places and I'm naming it as average amount. From this is nothing but I'm joining the same table, which is CTE, naming it as C1, and again CT, naming it as C2 on. Here comes the interesting part where how I'm joining it. So I'm joining it by 2 conditions, which is the C2 date should be less than equal to C1 date, and date difference of between these two dates should be less than 7. So it can be 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Got it? This will allow us to have a 7-day window. Group by, but the visited on, because that's what we wanted in output, having count 7 and ordering it by the visited on column again in the ascending order. So this was the complete solution for the 40th question. So the key takeaways from this question was of how of actually first is to understand the question of what we actually want and what kind of approaches. There are multiple approaches to solve this question. We are using the CTE one because this I found the easy one. So creating a CTE, this is one key takeaway, and using this key CTE in this, and how I'm joining this common table expression is another key takeaways. Rest was easy. Calculating average is normal, sum is normal, and grouping it is normal. It's just the how I'm joining it by giving the date difference as less than 7. This allows us me to have a 7-day window and the date should be less. So yeah guys, this was the 40th question from SQL 50. If you have any doubts, do let me know. Thank you so much for watching my videos. Have a nice day.